I see my head.
You'll be able to see it. There you go.
I don't see it.
It'll update.
Oh, there we are. Red and blue.
That's right.
We won't go there.
Red, white, and blue.
I was going to say, yeah.
Red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Well, hey, welcome to another episode of Inside the Scoop with the Brown Home Group. I'm Rick Brown, your host, and I am thrilled to have this lovely lady next to me, Shelly Nelson with Restyle Spaces.
Good morning.
However, I wanted to first give out a shout out. I've been doing this every week up until the beginning of the season for Timber Creek, who actually won the district championships, and they are on their way now to regionals. They actually won this past Friday night against Cypress Creek very convincingly. And now we'll go and play DeLand here at home at Timber Creek High School. So if you haven't got your tickets, make sure you do because it's going to sell out quick.
Awesome.
Yeah, so a lot of fun stuff happening this weekend. We had a great situation this weekend with our team. Brown Home Group, if you're not familiar, we're a real estate agency with Keller Williams Advantage 2. Next to me is our guest, Shelly Nelson, and her information is right up here. She's with Restyle Spaces. Shelly Nelson, this is your mobile, right? 407-579-0405, or you can email restyledspaces@gmail.com. So, Shelly, I know I'm thrilled to work with you. I know I primarily text you. I don't actually email you. But why don't you tell the audience kind of a little bit about yourself, how you maybe got into this business, or where that started.
Okay. Well, actually, my name is Shelly Nelson, and thank you so much for letting me be here today.
Absolutely.
I've just recently started working with your group, and I love it. So I look forward to an awesome 2020, and we're going to nail it. So anyway, how I got into this business is I actually have a corporate background. I was a senior manager at FedEx for 16 years. So got tired of the whole...
corporate?
Yes, corporate American thing. Decided I was going to make some money for myself. So I got into interior decorating first. So I was an interior decorator for 10 years, and the staging part just always intrigued me. So I added that to my business a couple of years ago, and now I actually do that more than anything else. But I love it. I love being able to go in because I'm a visionary. So I'm able to go in and put the house places to where people are actually able to see what the possibilities are, see what they can do with the home. So I love that. That's fun. I get to transform things and see a difference within 2 hours.
So who is Shelly? Are you from Orlando?
Yeah. So I'm originally from Indiana.
Okay.
I moved down here about 7 years ago. I'm married, and I have 2 stepsons, which are amazing. They help me with my staging sometimes, but. Right. Have 2 dogs. 2
dogs?
Yep.
What kind of dogs?
I have a big 100-pound black lab lady.
Oh, wow. And
then I have another rescue dog that's 50 pounds, just a Florida brown dog is what the vet calls. So yeah, that's pretty much me. I have a really tight, close family that we all live here together and do a lot of fun things. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So did you start the business here in Orlando?
Yes, I started here. Yeah.
Okay.
When I was in Indiana, I actually had a 10,000 square foot home decor consignment store.
Oh, wow.
And that's where I got started with my decorating business and everything. And then divorce brought me down here to Florida to start something new. Okay. And so that's kind of how I got to doing what I'm doing now.
Awesome. Well, guys, if you're an agent out there, you definitely want to be tuning in because I can tell you what Shelly has already done to our business on the listing side. But why don't you explain why should someone stage their home? Okay.
Well, first of all, let me just say that staging is not just taking and putting furniture in an empty home.
Okay.
That's one part of staging, but something I've done a lot for you and for your clients, and actually I love the fact that you're here because you can tell them what a difference it's made.
Sure.
But I can go through and do a walk-around consultation of the home. So I can go into a house, and we've had some fun ones.
Yes.
To where I can go through and, sometimes it's just taking certain pieces out. Sometimes it's rearranging the way furniture is laid out.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's taking artwork away or, putting it in different places, taking down curtains, things like that. But I can really get the house ready for the best pictures and the best, open house, best showings, things like that. So I have a lot of fun with that.
Right.
I can make a huge difference in 1 hour.
Well, I
think that's what you're realizing too, right?
Yeah, and the fact that obviously we go in there and we can have conversations, and I think, when you meet with the husband and the wife, you know, maybe the husband doesn't see things or the wife doesn't see things. You come in and you kind of open up their eyes to things that the possibilities of doing this or doing that.
Right.
I know with some of our clients, you've actually gone in and rearranged a dining room into a living room just because it made more sense.
Right.
And it definitely helped with the flow. And I think that's really when, I mean, I'm not going to answer your question for you, but staging a home, it really is about the pictures. It's about, you know, because most of us as agents, when we list something, we want it to go up on the internet, so the pictures have to be pristine.
Right, it makes a
And it
huge
really
difference.
does, yeah.
Because what do they say? It's like 98% of people or something like that go to see the home based on the pictures. I mean, I've been. That's a part of my business too. I've been decorating a couple of Airbnbs. So, and that's kind of fun too. And the same thing, when you're online and you're looking at Airbnbs, what makes you want to rent there? It's the pictures.
Sure.
Same with people buying things. Like when, especially for like vacant homes, when you're online and you're looking at vacant homes, how do you tell what the difference is? Is this the master or is this the other bedroom? And when you just have, you know, empty walls, it's hard to tell, you know, to scale. And sometimes even staging furniture, you know, you're controlling the buyer's eye.
Right.
So you're kind of like having them look at what you want them to. It's all the size of the furniture you get. We had the one house where they had a huge sectional, right? Well, that sectional being that large made that living room look really small, when indeed it wasn't. It was just the type of furniture you had in there.
Right.
That's why staging is important.
And when I think of staging, and I think agents out there will agree, you know, staging to me is bringing in furniture and putting it into rooms or enhancing a room by adding furniture. You're not included. You don't do actual furniture.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because
so
I haven't used that part of you.
So I do, there's a couple of different things I can do. Okay, I have some people that will use me as soft staging. That's where I'll go in, put a couple pieces of art, do the kitchen, bathrooms, you know, just enough to not make it just so stale and empty, right?
Okay.
That's the soft staging. I do occupied stagings, which is where people have the majority of the furniture that they want in the house. They just may have a really ugly dining room set that kind of dates the home. So I can come in and bring, you know, just a nice new dining room set, rug, you know, decor, whatever.
Right.
So that's an occupied staging where you're using their furniture for the most part, but you're just adding pieces to it. What I'm doing when I leave here today is an actual vacant staging. The whole entire house is empty. I'm going in, doing the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, the bathrooms, and the master bedroom. So I bring everything from my warehouse to the house and decorate the entire house.
So nice to meet you, Shelly.
I know. So I do all of that.
So you have a warehouse, you have furniture, and so
a lot of furniture.
So what I hear from a lot of different staging companies, obviously, if the home is occupied, it's a little tough to bring other furniture in to a home, especially. Let's not kid ourselves if they have little ones, and now we're bringing your furniture in.
I will tell you that occupied stagings are a little more expensive than vacant stagings for that reason. Sometimes the occupied stagings, I'll use different type of furniture that I might use in my vacant stagings. You know, I may have a table that, you know, may have a scratch or, you know, something on the base or whatever. That would be something I'd be more likely to use for an occupied staging than, you know, my brand new, you know, gorgeous one, which it still will look nice and look better than what they have. But,
right.
And we know that things are going to happen. I mean, that's why we have, you know, insurance and stuff too. So we're just more careful, and most people are very respectful. So if I have a house that has
a living room and family room, but maybe it's missing some bedrooms, furniture, you could stage that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of companies don't do that.
You're
they
right.
choose not to.
I can tell you that I can't say
we're not going to talk about which ones.
Yeah, but I'm saying I can't say the majority, but I can say that a large portion of home staging companies do not do occupied stagings. Just for that reason, that's, you know, it's expensive, furniture's expensive. So that's where you make your money, is being able to use the items over and over again. Occupied stagings, you take that risk that you're not going to be able to use it again. So it is tough. But
so if you're interested, guys, of what you're hearing, please reach out to Shelly.
Sure.
She's got her number right behind her head, and we're going to put it in the link below, so you'll have that information. But an idea so far is, if I'm looking to stage a home, is the fee based on a certain number of months? Is it monthly? Is it weekly? How does that work?
Okay, so kind of just like I just did a home last week that was $1.4 million. You know that those don't move as quickly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So in that one, the staging is a little more expensive. Number one is because it requires, a different type of furniture.
Right.
It usually requires more furniture because it's a larger home.
Okay.
But with that, I don't do the typical 90-day staging. I will usually do up to 6 months because I know that house is going to take longer.
Okay.
So with that being said, that's how I do that. Most of the other stagings that are the easier cookie cutter kind of,
Yeah.
in that
price
sweet point of 270 to 350,
Right.
those are usually a 90-day stage, and generally I'm in there, stage it, and my stuff's back out within 30 days. But you get 90 days, so.
So it is a 3-month contract.
Yeah, it is.
And if I sell it in 24 hours, I'm still paying for 3 months.
You are still paying for the 3 months because that's what we want is for it to sell in 24 hours, right?
No, 100%.
So there you
No,
go. I know I have a lot of people that ask me that though. They're like, so
Right.
what if I sell within 20? I said, well, then we
Well,
both did a
then-
great
then
job,
we
right? Exactly.
Right. No, absolutely. So I know we kind of jumped onto one of those questions. So can you kind of break down the services that you offer?
Sure.
So the agents out there and people out there that might need this service?
Absolutely. So my walk around fee, which is actually very reasonable, $75. I
Can't beat
mean,
it.
especially for my realtors and stuff. Your clients don't know that you're paying me $75, and they also don't know that I'm doing it for many realtors.
Right.
But when you tell them, when you're sitting down at that, trying to do that sales contract and getting contracts, or not contracts, but when you're trying to get them to sign on
Sure.
with you to sell their home, and you tell them the first thing I'm doing is sending my home stager, and she's going to do a walk around, and we're going to get things ready, to get this home sold. That's a value-added service.
Huge.
Right?
Yeah,
So
100%.
why would they go with Blaine, who's not offering that,
Right.
instead of going with you, who it's like, wow, well, if they're going through all this trouble, then we're going with this guy.
Right.
So it makes a huge difference.
And we pay for it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like you said, it's an added value service.
Sure.
There are agents out there that will say, hey, I can get you a home stager. Here's the number. You can call her and she'll come out and you pay for it. For us to be able to do that and consider that as part of our listing packet,
Right.
it does really
Right.
add value.
And it's smart because it's going to get that listing to sell quicker, which is more money in your, everyone's pocket. So that's perfect. So anyway, so that is a walk around consultation, $75. And then we have occupied stagings, we
Okay.
have soft stagings, we have full stagings. And something to keep in mind too on your buyer's side is that I'm an interior decorator. So when you're showing homes to people and they're like, I just can't imagine my furniture in here, or how would we even set up this, Don't worry. I have somebody, I can send you her number. She's very reasonably priced. She can come out here, give you a paint consultation if you want to paint. If you want to know how you're going to set up your furniture or whatever, then, it's a great little gift too, even for,
Like a closing gift.
closing gift. $75, gift certificate, and that's somebody coming to give them ideas and suggestions, and it's a whole hour. So
Be
get a lot
great for
done.
somebody like a young couple who's buying their first home, and maybe she's got all these great ideas and needs somebody to bounce them off.
Exactly.
Maybe
Some
mom's
people
not
just
in the
can't bring it
state,
together.
and mom's not in the state.
Yeah.
Because if mom's there,
Exactly.
she's going to be involved.
Yeah.
But it would be something like you said, that you could add as another value, because at the end of the day, our business is built on referrals,
Sure.
just like yours is.
Absolutely.
So if you're doing something that differentiates yourself, that definitely is an added value.
Absolutely.
So can you tell me what sets you apart from the competition?
So I pride myself, I pride myself big time with customer service. For me, this is not about I'm getting a $75 consultation from you.
Right.
This is about that I'm developing a relationship with you,
Yeah.
and this is a relationship that we're going to have moving forward, so that you feel confident in my ability. You know that if you call me, I'm going to deliver with what I said I would. So this is something that we're going to have this relationship moving forward, so that I can always be in your back pocket if you have someone with that need.
Right.
So that's very important to me. Plus I have a lot of experience. I have the business experience. There's some people that have never even owned their own home. I've built homes, sold homes, bought homes, you know what I mean? So
That's huge.
I've done a lot of that, especially when you're building a home and you pick out all the, finishes and stuff. So I really feel like that because I'm well-rounded in the, business world,
Right.
that I'm able to really help people on a different level.
Absolutely.
So, you had the one client, one of the first ones that I did with you,
Mm-hmm.
and we went in, remember, and that was one, and they were really confused on we don't know what to do, and I could set them up with an auction company to take pieces away, different places to donate to. pressure washers. There's just like a lot of people
Right.
that I could, recommend them to, and really it kind of calms your sellers down a little bit.
Well, in
They're
that
overwhelmed.
situation, you restructured that whole house,
Mm-hmm.
where now I'm having to go back in with another photographer.
Yeah, to make
Because
it better.
I got to go back in and reshoot that house, because the way I don't know if you call it feng shui or whatever, but the way the flow of the home is,
Yeah.
it's huge.
It makes a huge difference.
It really did, and it definitely will hopefully help
Yeah.
assist them in getting that
Yeah,
sold.
it makes a difference too. Like what some people don't think about, and not all realtors, because you see so many homes. But I've gone into homes before to where they have this large dining room, and then they have this big kitchen area here, but then they have a small, like this little small living room area. Why do you need that? You don't. You don't need more dining space, eating space than what you do living space. That's why we changed the one dining room into a living room and a family room
Sure.
for so it makes a big difference.
So that's awesome. Is there anything you'd like to tell the audience before we sign off? I think we're getting close to time.
Yeah. Just, I would love for, go on Restyled Spaces by Shelly on Facebook.
So that's your Facebook page?
Instagram's
Okay.
Restyled Spaces by, because Shelly wouldn't fit on there. And
Okay.
so there's that one.
Okay.
And, please give me a call. I'd love to sit down and talk to you if you have questions. Love to talk to you and tell you a little bit about what I do. If you go on my Facebook page as well, Shelly Nelson, you can follow, because I usually like to do videos when I'm doing my stagings and things like that. And so, yeah, give me a call. I would love to talk to you and explain to you what I do. And I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much for letting me come
this
today.
has been great. I actually have learned a lot too, because I thought you were a consultant.
You didn't know everything I did you?
I did not know that you actually, and that's good to know.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
When we deal with vacant homes, matter of fact, we probably should talk, because I have one that, I know we're on time. Where are we at? I want to make sure.
9:16.
Oh, so we're good on
Right.
time.
You're not too far.
Okay.
Too close.
So, do you feel like staging a home helps sell it versus a vacant home?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the big reason for that is buying a home is very emotional, right? So when you walk into a home, like I like to put my home sweet home mat, at the front door.
Right.
So as soon as they walk through, the first thing that's going in their brain is what? This is my home.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And then they walk in. So instead of seeing empty walls or seeing nail holes over here or
Right.
seeing, that to where I see where there's a little bit, the baseboard's not touching
Right.
just the right way. Instead of seeing that, you're walking into a dining room that has beautiful plant in the middle, and you can just, in your mind, you're visualizing yourself there.
Right.
If it's a vacant home, you're looking at just what like the features of the house are.
Yeah.
But when you walk in and you see, a living room and stuff, and you walk through the kitchen, you're like, oh my gosh, I could be watching TV right here because
Right.
I have the fake TV there, and the kids are over here, they're playing video games, and I can see it from the kitchen. Those are the type of things that people are seeing.
I know that one of the things I always do when I take a buyer through the house, if it's vacant, well, even if it's not vacant, I always say, hey, let's figure out where's the Christmas tree going to go,
Yes.
right? And always try to, like you said, get them to visualize them inside the home.
Absolutely.
Right?
When you're staging it, you don't even have to go as far because they're going to be able to see it. And I always tell people, it's funny, it's staging. You're basically setting the stage for them. Some people think it's like decorating a home.
Right.
It's not. Decorating and staging are two completely different things. Some people have a home that's beautiful and it's decorated nicely.
Okay.
So the realtor says, hey, this house is decorated, it looks beautiful. But what they don't realize is when somebody comes into the house, that's all they're seeing. They're seeing this beautifully decorated home. What they don't realize is people aren't seeing the beautiful tray ceiling or how awesome the floors are because there's 5 rugs on the floor. You see what I mean? So sometimes I had a realtor, this happened to a couple of like 2 months ago. So I walked in and I had to explain to him, I'm like, but look at it. All I'm looking at is the beautiful pieces of artwork, the beautiful sculptures that they have. That's what I'm paying attention to. You don't want people leaving the house you don't want them leaving remembering, do you remember how pretty that artwork was above the fireplace? You want them saying, do you remember that fireplace and how awesome that focal point was?
Right.
That's the difference between staging and decorating. You want them leaving realizing like what the different features are of that home, not just how cool that the sofa was in the house.
So one of the things you would recommend, obviously, first hire you, but
Yes,
if
number one.
not, take up rugs, things like that.
Yes,
Especially
absolutely.
if they have floors, and I mean, I know that for when I go on a listing appointment and I see those kind of things, I always wonder if they're hiding something underneath.
A lot
right?
of people think that, but not only that, if you have, like say you do wood floors all throughout the house, right? If you have an area rug here, an area rug here, and an area rug here, you're defining those spaces.
Gotcha.
Fine for decorating, it makes it warm and cozy,
Right.
but when you're going in to stage a home, you want them to see, wow, look how wide open and spacious, and look how every room just runs into the next
Right.
room. That's what you want them to see.
Yeah.
Not just the defined little spaces. So that's another reason why rugs, you don't, like bathrooms, you don't want rugs on the floor in the bathrooms because you want it to seem large and spacious.
So you do a really good job of decluttering.
Yes,
And
that's most important.
That's a key factor. I know that, like with the one home that you did, we not only, I mean, we decluttered, but you moved items in one spot to another spot, and I don't know how you did it, but you moved the fish bowl over
Yes.
behind the couch instead of next to it, and it really did open up the flow into the kitchen, because you know we hear, oh, the kitchen's small, the kitchen's small. Well, it's because there was so much connected in front of it that
And
you
now it's
didn't
not
have
so
that
small.
open feel,
Right.
and now it's not. And then obviously you moved the furniture.
Yeah.
I mean, you restructured that whole house.
It's all about controlling the buyer's eye,
Yeah.
not making spaces, making large.
And I will
walkway
say,
spaces.
guys, that I know you've done maybe 6 or 7 for me, and we just started.
Yeah.
But out of all of my clients, they have said nothing but rave reviews about you.
Aw. And I love it
So-
because I enjoy it and it shows.
And that's what they say.
Yeah.
They say when she comes in, it's almost like you take ownership and pride of their home and their things. But you do it in a peaceful, calming way. You're not brutal, and obviously sometimes we have to be brutally honest with certain homes.
And you can be. I tell the truth.
Yeah. No, they.
But it's all
absolutely.
about how you deliver,
Yeah.
how you
Yeah.
deliver it. So
I had a question. And I know we've got like 5 minutes, but is it okay to have pictures of personal? Okay, so you recommend taking those off the wall?
Yep.
All of them?
Yep.
So you don't feel like when somebody comes in to look at a home, if they see, a wedding picture or something like that, that makes okay. So that's good to know.
Because you want
I agree.
you want them to visualize the whole thing is you do not want them to see that
Other
this
couple.
is someone else's house that they're going to buy.
Gotcha.
You want them to see that this is my house, and it's hard for you to feel yourself thinking of this as your home when you have somebody else's pictures on the
So
wall.
do you feel taking everything off the walls? Like I was in a listing appointment yesterday, and the woman's husband had passed, but he was military, and he had this beautiful. She had this beautiful thing with the flag because he was honored and all his medals.
That I think would be fine.
Okay.
It's not somebody's picture.
Got it.
That could be patriotic.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
could be, something.
Yeah.
Or even
Okay.
like more so like in an office
I
or something
was
like
really
that.
struggling because
Yeah.
actually you're going to talk to her.
Okay.
But yeah, so you're going to talk to her, but
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't want to have her take that down.
No, that you wouldn't have to.
But
It's
she has
just
a
the people's
collage
faces.
of one wall of
Yeah.
family.
It happens to me all the time.
So and
The
yours
one that
is-
sold in 24 hours, the one
Yep.
that was under contract.
Yep.
That one, remember all the beautiful photos she
Yeah.
had of her kids, and they
Yep.
were awesome canvases.
right.
Take them down.
Yeah, no, they did.
Yeah.
And it did.
It made a difference.
It made a blank wall. And yeah, it probably made
It was
a
still more
difference.
important than seeing someone else's kids on the wall.
Wow. Well, guys, I hope this has been informative for you.
We could talk all day.
There are a lot of staging companies out there, so obviously Shelly differentiates herself just being so passionate and what she does. And obviously now I've learned that she does a lot more than just consulting work. So if you're interested, reach out to her. Numbers behind her. Shelly, thanks so much for
Thank
being
you.
here.
I'm so glad. Thank
yeah,
you.
no, this has been great, and hopefully everybody's learned something about staging. Because
Yes.
when I knew you were coming in, I'm like, gosh, are we gonna have 30 minutes to talk?
I know, exactly. We're like, we could talk all day.
But we really could. So, but yes, thank you again. And hey, guys, I hope you guys tune in next week. Next week we're gonna have Susan West and from Fidelity National Title. She's gonna be coming in and talking about title, which is not always the most glamorous thing, but it's definitely important. We got homestead exemption coming up real soon, so we're going to talk about that. and what that means for buyers out there that are, bought a home and maybe they didn't have homestead when they bought it, that they're going to need to get homestead, and hopefully your agent will definitely be sending you a notification, but title does that as well. So tune in, that'll be next week, 9 o'clock. And again, Shelly, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, have a great week and make it a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.